Hello and welcome to Sure Shot Archery. Today I think we're going to talk about backup equipment. Now, before we start, if you ever want to know what season these videos are filmed in, don't worry about when I post them. Just check out how many plants are in the background. As you can see behind me, yes, all the plants are inside, and that means winter is upon us, or fall. But if the house looks pretty empty in the background of my videos, well, you know we're in summer because everything's outside. So I got a really great response from everybody with me going over my equipment before, which is whoop, right down there. And today I want to go over the backup equipment I have and kind of my plans for the future on that, because backup equipment is very, very important. Okay, so now let's talk about my backup equipment. Drum roll. Okay, no drum roll. But we're gonna start off with the limbs. Yes, I have backup limbs. No, it is not another set of MK Veracity limbs. I wish, maybe at some point, but they are MK limbs. These are actually limbs that I bought from a friend of mine, and they are his, or well, I guess technically mine. MK Vera limbs. They're quite awesome. They work really well. Are they as good as the Veracity? I'm up in the air on that. But the Veracity, then again, are only a year old. These are at least a few, I would say like 3, maybe more. But I do have backup limbs. I do not have a backup riser. Maybe at some point, I think the GMXs may go on clearance, which is, you know, a good and a bad thing. I think it's a great riser. So it's a shame to see it go on clearance, but if it's on clearance, it's cheaper to buy, which is better for me and everybody else out there. But then they're gone. And then you're stuck with buying secondhand ones after that, which is no fun. Other than that though, for risers, that's all I got. I do have the HPX still with a set of Formula Quattro limbs, but that is not a backup bow. That is strictly for like, I guess, stunts and stuff. Like when I do my Arrow versus videos and something could possibly go wrong that would, you know, damage the bow or spray paint the bow a weird color, that is left for the HPX. I'm not really happy with the limbs on there. They make a weird noise, so they'll probably delaminate on me at some point. Hopefully not. We'll keep the fingers crossed. But yeah, that does not go to tournaments. But let's continue on with the rest of the stuff. Now, I'm going to even cover some of the extra like parts and, you know, materials I have, like knocks and things. And on that, I have a small tackle box filled with them, as you can see here. Yes, a whole bunch of different colors of Easton pin knocks, extra pins. I got glue. I even have stainless steel points, which is pretty awesome because my points actually come out just by using a lighter to light them up. You can light up the tip and it'll melt the glue. It's a really low heat glue, but I have never had a point pull out in the target, knock on wood. But I've been using them. I've been using this glue for like 5 years now, maybe even longer, and I've never had an issue. So we're gonna keep it that way. Let's see what else. I have another case of stuff. This all goes to tournaments with me. Every single tournament I go to, I got this. So it comes in handy because I either can help solve my own problem or, you know, other people that I may have just met or good friends of mine may be like, hey, Anthony, do you have this? I probably have it because I bring everything. I might almost be able to build my own bow. But here's my next one. We have finger spacers, and we got a ton of string materials, a bunch of BCY halo, different halo serves, different knocking points I may want to put on. Next up we have, the plunger. Yes, I have a second biter plunger. Very helpful, not so much that a biter plunger is going to break, but for some reason something comes loose or something crazy and it ends up getting lost in the ground, I can go and steal parts from this one, put it on the bow, because I don't have a second bow. Need to work on that. Let's see. Beyond that, I do have a second clicker. I have 2 backup the Shibuya sight pins. I don't have a second sight, but just sight pins, because honestly on a sight, nothing should break. Probably only the sight pin if somebody like really hits into it or the airlines damage it. I do actually have a backup sight block too I bring with me with a sight pin in it. Yeah, we're going overkill here because I'm looking to, you know, represent my country at the highest level. So I want to be prepared for everything, and I don't want a piece of equipment to hinder my performance as an individual. Now, as a recreational shooter, like if my brother goes and shoots somewhere, well, he has me there, but honestly, he brings almost nothing because it doesn't bother him. He doesn't really, not that he doesn't care, he likes shooting, but he's not you know, stuck on this, oh, I'm gonna go, I want to achieve this high level of shooting. And you know what? It's still in the enjoyment of archery. How you go about it, you know, is however you want to go about it. Either way is fine. You can want to be a professional, or you can just want to shoot for fun at home. Technically, both you should be doing for fun and for the enjoyment of it. But how you go about it, the 2 ways are a little bit different. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have, oh, this is helpful. So, I have a Shibuya Arrow Rest. Pretty awesome. They come with backup parts. No, maybe not. Well, anyway, there's a little arrow rest arm here that the arrow sits on. That's probably the only thing that's going to break on your arrow rest. So they make replacements. I picked up one. As a little note, the video is a little crazy. This is a brand new camera I'm using. This is the first video with it. I'm using the Canon G7X Mark II. So kind of getting used to things. Hopefully it'll, you know, be a really great addition, and we can get some awesome videos when I travel places that I don't want to bring the big DSLR that takes up a ton of space. Let's see, other than that, I have shooting glasses. I have 2 pairs. I have one that I wear every day, and I have one I wear just for shooting. Extra arrow puller, because why not? I'm back to the string thing. Yes, I bring this to my tournament. I can go and take the center serving off with a razor and then go and boom, really quickly redo this. Not at a tournament, but I have done it once in a hotel room. And hey, it saved my my trip, and it made it happen. Now I bring extra strings, so, you know, solve that problem. And that's where we get to, extra strings. Got plenty of those. I make sure I shoot with my extra strings because you don't want to just have extra strings. You want to have extra strings that are already set up for your bow. Their brace height's going to be pretty much spot on right away. So they already have knocking points. I like people that bring extra strings that don't put knocking points on them. Yeah, that's defeating the purpose of having extra strings. Other than that though, I think I covered everything. Hopefully you found this very fascinating. So for right now, this is what I have. In the future, I do want to have that second setup. Probably not a stabilizer, but I'm kind of up in the air on that because a friend of mine, David, actually ran into a problem where he didn't have a second bow already assembled on hand, and it was during a head-to-head elimination round. Now this is at a US tournament, so I don't know if the rules apply to the rest of the world. I know USA Archery likes to follow what goes on. I know USA Archery likes to follow what goes on the World Archery rulebook for the most part. And he ran into an issue where his limbs delaminated and he didn't have the bow, but there was a time limit on the clock and he needed a bow to finish shooting those 3 arrows before the time limit ran out. Couldn't do that because there wasn't one already available, and therefore he ended up losing the match, which ended up giving his opponent 2 set points. Those 2 set points gave his opponent 6 points, and he ended up getting knocked out. So it got me thinking, because I wasn't thinking about that, so I probably need to go and invest in at least another riser, because I already have most of the other stuff. The only thing I'm probably short on is a second full stabilizer setup, and I would need a sight without the sight block. But you know, investments to the future, more things to buy for archery, which is always a good thing because I love spending money on archery. But other than that, I think we're pretty set. I think I covered everything, at least that I bring to a tournament in my bow case. You know, there's plenty of other things like, you know, always bring extra snacks and and things like that, and extra clothing like Under Armour, even if the place is supposed to be warm, because you never know, weather gets crazy, especially if you're shooting an outdoor tournament on like one of those fringe months where it's like spring but it could be summer, and it could flip back, you know, back and forth really easily. So stuff like that I'm always prepared for. Hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was very educational, and maybe it gave you some new ideas on what you should or should not bring to your next tournament. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. And as always, happy shooting.